All right. I will let you know I have absolutely no structure to this episode. So we're just going to see how this goes and hope for the best.
We'll roll with it. And worst case scenario, if it's absolute garbage, you don't have to use it. Just be like, this wasn't a good idea. But I'm sure
Well,
it'll.
no, the idea for the episode is sound. It's the structure of the episode that is circumspect or um, not really anything that is, I don't know, dude. It's been a week.
Yeah, I saw Caitlin's post
Yeah.
about Bobby, so I'm sorry about that.
He was suspended from school for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have to get into the details unless you want to, but
No,
it's
it has been such a long week.
yeah.
I'm tired. It's Friday. I don't know how it's only Friday. I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. So, yeah. And welcome back to a very special edition of First, Last, and Best. Um, like I had mentioned earlier this week on our across our social media channels, um, this week is going to be slightly different due to some things that happened this particular week with me, but we'll get there in a second. First, let's talk about the social media accounts. We're over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, First, Last, and Best Podcast. You can find all of our behind the scenes stuff. We pull stuff out of the vault and throw them up there, reels, things like that. Song of the day over on Facebook, Vinyl Collection on Instagram, random behind the scenes wackiness over on TikTok. Um, all sorts of things. You can find out where you can hear us. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, normal podcasting channels is where you can hear it. Obviously, you can hear it because you're listening to it right now or watching. Hey, YouTube. Ain't that something? Um, Now back to what we were going to talk about. Um, so this week was a little bit of a hard one for me. I've mentioned it before, but my son is on the autism spectrum, and going to school can be slightly difficult for him. This week, the difficulties mounted, and it led to an incident. I won't get into details about it, but needless to say, it has kind of caused my wife and I to stress and feel a lot of anxiety and depression and just trying to find our way and figure our way out and try and do what's best for our son. So I felt like, while originally we were supposed to do an episode, actually two different episodes. One was the Good Charlotte episode my wife and I were going to do. Obviously, we did not do that last week. Um, and then I had another episode I had lined up, but due to everything that was going on, I had to postpone. And then the person I was going to record with just couldn't, we couldn't find another day that suited both of our schedules. So, um, but that also kind of led to this episode and what I kind of wanted to talk about tonight. Uh, and that is the impact that music has on our mental health and how searching out music can help steer us back in the right direction. And I felt like I needed to have this conversation, not just with myself and not just with you, the listener, because obviously you can't speak to me right now. You can leave comments if you want, and I'll respond to those. But I can't have that conversation face to face with you. However, I can have that conversation with the person who has become one of my best friends, as well as one of my consistent rotating guests here on First, Last, and Best, and that's Jeff. Jeff, welcome back to the show. I know this was a little earlier than we were anticipating having you back, but I appreciate you jumping in last minute and having this conversation because I know it's not one that, a lot of people want to have. So,
Yeah, no problem, man. Get a text, hey, could you do something last minute? If I'm available, I'm there for you, man. So
I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know about you, but music has always been kind of my go-to. I mean, I will admit that there for a while in my 20s, alcohol was my go-to for dealing with mental health issues. Not exactly the healthiest way to go about it, though. Slightly self-destructive at times as well. But throughout like my teenage years, and then especially the last probably like 5, 10 years of my life, music has always been kind of like that comfort, that go-to. I whether it's I need something angry or I need something that's kind of gonna rock me to back to kind of like a settled mind, whatever. Music has always kind of been that go-to for me. I mean, is it similar to you, or is that just
yeah, for sure, man. Like music is, I mean, there's nothing else like it, right? Like it
yeah?
can amplify your emotions. When you want that, it can kind of redirect. Like, well, we'll probably, as we get more into what we're talking about tonight, we'll probably cover this a little bit, but like if you like are feeling something and you just want to feel it more deeply. Like music
Yes.
can do that, right? Or if you're like feeling something, you're like, man, I gotta change. Like I gotta turn around. I gotta change my mental state.
Yeah.
I gotta get music can do that too, right? Like so it's just yeah, it's so powerful. It can amplify what you're feeling or it can provide some, some course correction. It can, I mean, there are albums that like I have to be careful of
Yeah.
like what state of mind I'm in when I put them on because it could lead
Yeah.
like a spiral. Like there's certain albums where like, okay, I'm in a good mood. This is a good day. I can listen to this album today.
Yeah.
On a bad day, probably not the right
Not the
album to
best
put on.
idea.
It just you just want to unless you just do. I just want to spiral. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's incredibly powerful. Both. Like whether you're listening to it or like even more so when you're like in a crowd in like a live context
Oh
and
yeah.
you get that like collective effervescence of everybody the band and the crowd playing off each other and excuse me just the energy of the place like yeah it's nothing else like it, man.
100%. I mean, there's nothing quite like a live show. And especially if it's a song that you connect with and that resonates with you, it's so easy at a live performance to just kind of fall into like this almost hypnotic kind of state of mind
Mhm.
where like you don't even know what's going on around you. It's like you're just feeling it so deeply that I mean, I've had more than a few instances where it's like music has just kind of taken over and I don't even think. I'm just in that moment, which honestly is it can be very healing. It can be very destructive at times. If you're not in the right frame of mind and a song comes on that you may not want to listen to at that moment, that particular moment in time. But I've always found music to be very helpful and soothing at times. And it's with that in mind, and specifically why I asked Jeff to be here for this episode, that um well, let me pretext it with this. When I first met the people from Punk Rock Saves Lives, um, it was Mess, Bowling for Soup, and Authority Zero. Such a great show. A lot of fun. Um, but I ended up meeting and talking with them for quite a while and kind of learning more about them. And then when I got home and the next day, I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more. So I went to their website and everything and their link tree, and I found that they had a mental health playlist, songs that helps people, and they like collectively like got songs from all over the musical spectrum. Um, and there have been times in my life over the last couple of years since I've found that playlist that I have always gone back to it, and I've gone and listened to songs that have meant a lot, and just kind of it helps either course correct or kind of amplify what I'm feeling. So it is with that in mind that I today, or well, today as in Monday, the day this episode comes out, we will be introducing our own the official first, last, and best mental health playlist. It'll be songs that I am picking. Jeff is going to be picking songs as well. And in all honesty, if you have songs that help you, comment, let us know what they are. I will throw them on there because I don't want this just to be a list of songs that helps me or helps Jeff or helps one of the other guest hosts. I want this show and specifically this playlist to be a go-to when you're having a hard time. When things are not quite right with you, that you need just music to lean on. I want your songs to be a part of this. I want your songs and how you feel to be a part of this so that way we can all feel it together. There's going to be some pretty uh, common songs, most likely. I have a couple on here that I actually pulled from the Punk Rock Saves Lives list because they meant a lot to me. Starting off with My Sanity by Bad Religion, which has really kind of, whenever I'm just kind of like feeling I need that kind of faster, I've always kind of leaned, especially the last few years, have leaned into Bad Religion. They are such a good band to begin with, but songs like My Sanity have really kind of found its place with me. So that is actually going to be the first track that I'm going to be putting on the playlist. So uh, I asked you if you could come up with a few. I'm not sure how many you came up with, but
Yeah, I've got a notes app. I've just kind of been chucking some stuff in there as it occurred to me. Uh, you know, pulling back the curtain, like we said, it was a very kind
yeah.
of last minute. So I'm sure there are like songs that like tomorrow I'm just gonna like slap myself in the forehead and be like, I can't believe I missed that one. So
Well,
but
regardless, let me know what you want to put on here and I'll
yeah,
throw it
yeah.
on.
Sure, man.
So like that's the one thing I don't want. I don't want this just to be like something that I put together and I curate. I want this to be literally the community that I we are trying to build through this show. Uh, this to be like a community playlist. Like
Yeah.
what helps you may help somebody else later on down the line.
Yeah, man.
So,
Well, uh it's interesting because like as we kind of talked about there's like a couple ways of approaching this kind of idea, and I
yeah,
found myself kind of waffling back and forth, right? Because like there's some times where like, okay, I'm bummed out and I just want to sit and feel that, right? So like some songs
yeah,
that like you put on like to amplify, like to really feel your feelings, right? Not
100%.
to not to bypass or like just shove it down like, no, I really want to feel it. And then there are songs that you want like, okay, I'm feeling kind of down. I need something to pump me up. And so like I've got a mix of both of those on here. And so and
Hey,
I think they're
perfect.
both valuable depending on what you're looking for. I don't know how they're all like gonna work together in a playlist format because they're kind of all around the spectrum. But I've got some I'll throw at you. The very first one that came to mind when you asked me to do this episode is off of the Story So Far's Proper Dose album. It's my favorite
Hmm.
track off Proper Dose. It's called If I Fall. And yeah, that's one. I mean, that whole album is good, and I'm an album guy, right? So like
Yeah,
um a lot of these like if I'm feeling some kind of way, I'm just gonna go put on Proper Dose, right? And like listen to the
yeah,
whole album. And that's gonna be a trend with like a lot of these, but like to pull one track from that album because a lot of those would work. But If I Fall is definitely the first one that came to mind for me. I
yeah.
think that song is beautiful and poignant.
I think probably, especially recently, and especially when there's one particular song that I pulled that from a band I don't really listen to that often, and I actually I need to apologize to Bowling for Soup and Jared Reddick because we saw them with Mest and Authority Zero, and we actually left halfway through because I'm not a huge Bowling for Soup guy, but it wasn't until after that that I heard the song Turbulence. And oh my God, anytime I'm just going through it when I'm just in the middle of it, I put on this song on repeat. This is literally such a beautiful song, and I love the chorus. I'm just going to read the lyrics real quick. And we're all just passengers tonight, and we're all just traveling through our lives. We'll reach our destination, so just hang on for the ride. Say a prayer and close your eyes. It's just a little turbulence. It's just kind of a very nice and very good reminder that what you're going through is temporary. This is not going to be a permanent thing. It is not going to permanently like be this bad. That it's rocky, it's shaky, it's hard right now, but you know what? Hang on, make it through. You're going to be okay. And so, thank you for this song, by the way. This has really helped me over the last several years. I can't begin to explain how many different ways, especially having a special needs child and having just going through a lot of his troubles and what he goes through and trying to fight for him. Having a song like this to kind of lean on is is incredibly important. So, dude, I this has to be on the list because it's so good. Um,
Mm.
what else you got, buddy?
I got a pretty deep cut.
Ooh, I like deep
Yeah,
cuts.
it's one that is by a band that wasn't never got like really popular. I came across them because they were touring. We played a show, and they were part of the tour support. And so they had like a crowd in a very particular scene. They gained a
Hmm.
little bit of notoriety. The band is called Edison Glass, and they have a song. It's technically I don't know how this will work for playlist purposes because their first EP that they released, and I don't know if that one's up on streaming. They had this as one track, right? It was like one long track, and then when they
Yeah,
released their full length, they split it into two songs, and so it's a song that's definitely meant to run together, but on the full length, it's split into two songs, and so the two songs are "Comfort" and "When All We Have Is Taken." Um, and so again, on the full length, which I think is probably what will be up available on streaming, it's two
yeah,
songs. Um, but it's just a song about like the 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 lead singer, the frontman, like gave a bit of a story around it. A few times that I saw him live is about some of his medical struggles, particularly around asthma and some tough times that he had, and just like wishing that the things that he struggles with and the things that we all like the obstacles in our life just begging for them to be removed, but
yeah,
also the tension between that and how those things kind of form us as people and grow us as people. And um so yeah, that's just one of those songs. It's a vibe. Like that's something where I'm gonna like put in my headphones, lay back with my eyes closed, and just like let it wash over me.
yeah,
It's a lot of delay and ambient, like but really great. Yeah, it's really great guitar work. It's just a really good song. Slash songs, depending on. I like the EP version better, but probably just because that's what I was exposed to first. Um,
yeah,
but so yeah, that's
yeah.
another good
Because
sip of.
especially if it's sonically just goes together and just flows together like that, that's
Yeah,
just kind of like that. Was it These colors flee the scene and Arcor
hardcore.
from
Yeah.
Year of the Union, dude? As soon as you told, I went and listened to those two songs back to back, and I
Hmm.
was like, oh, okay, Jeff is right. These belong together. Like they just
Yeah.
flow so perfectly into one another.
Yeah.
Um, so my next one is just kind of a declaration, I guess. It's very upbeat. It's very just kind of look at the world the way it is and just accept it. And that's Life Sucks, Let's Dance by Real Big Fish. because it says it all right there. Sometime life just sucks, but let's dance and have a good time
Mm.
because it's real big fish. Because what else would they do? I guess. But yeah, like it's nothing with a lot of deep meaning, nothing with a lot of. This is one of those you need a course correction, I guess, kind of song. So I would definitely throw this on there just because it'll help at least. If not, well, there are other songs.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna match your energy with this one. I've got a
Nice, I like it.
another like very upbeat, very positive song. And it's "Bright Spring Morning" by Suburban Legends.
Ooh, nice.
Um, and it's just like a positive, like, hey, let's get up and go. The yeah, grab life, live it before you die, kind of attitude. And it did get reframed. They released a more melancholy piano version of it.
Really?
Yeah, after the passing of I'm not sure if it was a friend or a band member or family member. But yeah,
Yeah,
they released like a melancholy piano version. But the original is very upbeat third wave ska, a lot of fun,
yeah.
and just one
That's
of
really
those
cool that they
like,
did that though.
yeah, I don't remember which album the second one was released on, but yeah, it was they're both good, but
I'll have to find it.
they definitely hit in different ways.
Yeah. All right. Next for me is I, another one that I found on the um the Punk Rock Saves Lives list, and that's because it's honestly just it's a wonderful, wonderful song. And it's very punk rock. It's very like fast at times, but it's Smile by Descendants.
Mm.
I love it. It's great. And I love the chorus, what I wouldn't give to see you smile once in a while. It's a good song. It can be very upbeat and it gets start the way it starts. I can see your pain has left you locked up, beat down. I can see that fear has made you desperate, burnt out. And it's just like one of those things that you just very much can relate to. And then it's just like going into what I wouldn't do to help you, what I would do to, yeah, you're hurt and you're shattered and everything, but, I, what I wouldn't give to see you smile. I mean, that basically sums it up. So that's a great song. I love it. So we don't have to do every song that I don't know how many you have on your list, but we'll do a few more and then we'll call it a night because this is going to be a shorter episode anyway.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
cool,
we're
man.
we're both really tired. So
Yeah, that's cool. Now that'll make me be more judicious. Like, okay, a few more.
yeah.
Which ones am I gonna pull?
Yeah, because this will be number four for you.
I
So let's
mean,
do like three more each after this one.
I
And
mean,
then
how many Wonder Year songs are we allowed to put on here? I've got like I've got
I've
like
limited
six.
myself to one, but you can, regardless of how many we talk about on this particular episode, I want you to send me the list because I'll put them all on there.
Uh,
So let's maybe keep it to one mentioning it in this episode, but send me the full six. Because
I mean, yeah, that's another one where it's like, I mean, just whole albums. But I was like, okay, let me pull a few, and one I think I know. I have a guess which one you might have, so I don't want to step on that. But
I
I'm
don't know, you may not.
okay,
Because the one I have is a little surprising, and it
okay,
honestly surprised me.
okay.
So,
Well, I'm not gonna get there yet. Let's do okay, I gotta get this one on there. This is one of those like like pull you out of it, get you pumping, like, okay, I'm tired of I just gotta get out of this bed and like do something. Like that's Heroes Get Remembered and Legends Never Die by 4 Year Strong.
yep,
That song is so driving. It's so energetic, and just the hey, we're in this together. of it,
Yep.
you know, because I think that that is, you know, I am not one to reduce incredibly complex issues down to very simple factors or solutions, right? But I do
Hmm.
think a large portion of the mental health epidemic that we have, particularly in the United States, is influenced and impacted by our hyper individualism as a society and a culture, and
Yeah.
our eschewing of collectivism and self or reliance on and interdependence with other people. And so I really think community, wherever you find it, whether you find that in a faith community or in a music scene or in a recovery group or CrossFit, like whatever it is, like being able to find a tribe, being able to find community to share your life with, um, will have incredible positive effects, not just for you,
Absolutely.
but for your family and for your community. And so, yeah, here's Get Remember Legends Never Die is just like, hey, alone I could barely light a match, but together we could burn this place down. So like, let's
I
go.
love that
Like,
song.
yeah, it gets me so hype. I can't listen to it without like doing the double bass with my hands. Like, it just gets me
Oh, of course.
so.
I remember the first time I saw them live, it was at Toad's Place in New Haven, Connecticut.
Mm,
They opened for the starting line, and I left that show more impressed by 4 Years Strong than I was the starting line.
mm,
That was before Josh Lyford left the band,
yeah.
um, which I felt like they kind of lost something when he left the band, but still great band to see live. Still plays the song to this day, and I love it. It's such a great song.
Heather and I are going to see them in November because they're here in Virginia Beach with Mayday Parade,
That's right.
The Paradox, and All Time Low.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, we're going to see them in November.
Guys, I saw them back in it was last November at the Canal Club
Mm.
in Richmond. So, and I've seen them there a couple times. All right, since we're only going to do three more, uh, I know which ones I'm going to choose. I know the Wonder Years song I'm going to save for last. So I'm going to go. This is more of like a reminder. Sometimes you just need to, especially when you are hurting, when you are stressed, when you're tired, you have a maybe it's just me, and I doubt it's just me. I'm sure there are other people like there out there that are just similar to me, that when you're angry and you're stressed and you have a tendency to lash out at others, um, which I am guilty of, and it's usually those closest to me. And I've gotten better at it over the years, but it's still sometimes when it's almost like a hurt animal hurts people. Like you don't want to corner a hurt animal because they're going to act out and lash out, and it's never goes good for anyone. So, but the song "Be More Kind" by Frank Turner,
Yeah.
it's just a very good reminder that even if you're hurting, even if things are not going the way you want it to go, and he has probably any number of songs like "Get Better," "Recovery,"
Yeah. Recovery was
and
on my list. Yeah.
yeah, any songs, any number of songs by Frank Turner you can throw on this list, and it would work perfectly. But for me, it's "Be More Kind" because it is a very good reminder that you know what, kindness can go a very, very long way. So, so yeah, "Be More Kind" by Frank Turner.
Mm. All right. So three more we said.
Yeah, three more.
All right.
Well, now that I know that "Recovery" is on your list, I can throw that on here so I can make
Yeah.
sure it's on.
That wasn't gonna make the three, but yeah, that is on my
Yeah.
long list. Let's do another one. This is another one that it's not that the content doesn't speak towards mental health struggles, but again, similar to the Edison Glass track. This one is just very vibes for me. This is
Hmm.
another like let it wash over you song and just feel what you're feeling. And that's by Philly Legends, Me Without You. And again, they had several that I was like, I could be this one, this, one, this one. In a Sweater Poorly Knit is the one that I went with. Um, it's so good. And we talked up front about, the like multiplicative effects of being in a
Yeah,
live context, and I've seen them several times live, and this is one of those songs that yeah, you just hear it and
it
it
just grabs
fills
you.
the room, yeah, with the energy. So yeah, Sweater Poorly Knit by Me Without You.
All right, two left. Okay, so this is more of another musically upbeat one, but it's always good to have the reminder that when you fall back down, you're going to pick me back up again. Fall Back Down by Rancid.
I was like,
Such a great song.
Chumbawamba? Oh no.
I might throw that on here just for shits and giggles because Chumbawamba is just a fun band. More than just the one song, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, Fall Back Down has always been kind of like one of those songs for me. Um, that when I'm in a funk, I'll throw it on and it definitely helps me out. One of their better songs, in my opinion, or one of their better singles. All right, two more, Jeff.
Yeah, let's take a left turn. This one tonally is a little bit different, but
Yeah.
it's one that just it's dancey, and I think there's it's a little bit tongue in cheek, I think, a little bit
Hmm.
in on the joke. But that's Fake Happy by Paramore. Um,
Fake hat.
yeah. Uh,
Nice.
Everybody here is fake happy too. Yeah. I like that one a lot. And I think it just kind of speaks to, again, in kind of a tongue-in-cheek way, but really speaks to like, hey, you're probably not the only one struggling and you might feel
Yeah.
isolated in it. But really, there's a lot of people out there that are just faking it till they make it. There's a lot of people here who are struggling and keeping the mask on and maybe don't have the strength to be vulnerable and let that mask slip a little bit. So don't feel
Yeah.
like you're in a unique position or you're the only one struggling with things. Um, I would not have thought that would have made the short list, but I kept looking at it and I was like, yeah, let's throw that one out there.
That makes sense. So now we are going to go with that one band that we just can't help but continue to talk about because uh, the more I think about it and the more I listen to them, the more amazing I find the Wonder Years to be. And I let me ask you, what song do you think I picked?
I thought, and it was based on our Wonder Years episode that we did together, and then it was based on the social media post that you made. I thought it was "You're the Reason I Don't Want the World to End." That's what my guess would have been. Was that what it was?
Nailed it right on the head.
I mean, I cheated because you used it in
I
the post that you made, but
I've been listening to that song most of the day
mm,
and it's the chorus. I'm finding hope in the pocket of my winter coat with your gloves a reminder that I'm not alone.
mm,
I that has been I like the last 2 or 3 days ever since everything that's been going on with my son. This has just been on repeat. I did turn it off for a little bit today because I did listen to the new Taylor Swift album, which fucking slaps, by the way. That woman knows how to write a song. It- this is definitely like if your children should not be listening to this album, by the way. They have to be at least 18, maybe 21 to listen to this album because Jesus Christ, some of the songs, the content that she pulls out, which go Taylor, do your thing. But at the same time, but my wife was this morning, literally she came at like I woke up at 4:45, she woke up around 7 and she comes out of the bedroom, she's just like, "It's out. It's out." Then she starts playing it. I'm just like, "All right, this is how today's going to go." Um but this song has been on repeat quite a lot in the last several days just because it's been between that and No Closer to Heaven.
hmm
Both of those two songs have been on, but I'm always just kind of like a closing song kind of guy with the Wonder Years
Yeah.
because every single one of their closers has been phenomenal in
hmm
my opinion. But yeah, the reason I don't want you're the reason I don't want the world to end makes this list easily.
Yeah, that's a
So,
fantastic one.
all right,
All right, one left, one left. I think I'm gonna go with yeah. So I recommended this album to you. I don't remember if you actually got a chance to give it a listen or not, but it's definitely this album came out in 2022 and it like on first listen like became one of my favorite albums of the last 5 years immediately. Um it's so the song is Tough Love by Arm's Length. Um
Yes. I
yeah,
remember you
that
telling me about them.
and that's another one where like it is hard for me to extract a song from that album because that album is so beautifully written and
Yeah.
sequenced and put together in such a way that like any song feels out of place by itself. Like it has,
Yeah.
that album is just it's a masterpiece. And so that was another one where I was like, how do I pick one song from this album? And so like I went like there's like three of them that I was thinking of, but I think Tough Love is probably is the one if I've got to pick
Yeah.
one song from there.
Nice. So, so that's our list for now. Like I said, this episode comes out Monday at 9 a.m. By that point, I will have the initial list together. Obviously, it is going to continue to grow because I'm going to continue to put songs on there, especially when I start approaching them and when I start hearing them. There will be songs, obviously, we didn't talk about tonight. Um, but at the same time, I want you, the listeners of this show, to let me know what you want on there, please. Because a song that helps you might help me. It might help Jeff. It might help anyone who happens to stumble upon this list that maybe they are not feeling in the right frame of mind. Maybe they need something happy. Maybe they need something that they can just feel. If it works for you, it might work for someone else. And in all honesty, in this day and age, with as hard as life can be right now, for everyone to kind of get together on the same page and to pull on the same rope and to be there for one another, to create that community like Jeff talked about. That is so important in this day and age. So comment, let me know, tell me. I want to hear it because I want to hear the songs that help you because that might help me. It might help Jeff. It might help my wife. It might help someone else later on down the road who might be in a dark place and might need that inspiration because mental health is not something that should be overlooked. It's not something that should be pushed to the side. It is not something that should be scoffed and laughed at. It is so important to be okay. And it's also okay to not be okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on last minute. Um, I hope you enjoy the playlist. If you need anything, if you need help, there are suicide prevention hotlines out there. There are people out there who will listen. Don't be afraid to talk because that's the only way that you can see another day is letting us know or letting someone in your life know that things are not okay, that you need help, that you need a hand. There are people out there who will listen. I'm going to put phone numbers to suicide prevention hotlines. I'm going to do some more research to try and find other resources available. But it's okay to not be okay. And hopefully, the music that helps us will help you. And just like I hope the music that helps you will help me. So that's going to be it for today. Uh, Next week, we have a very special episode. Not quite the heavy topic like this, but it's definitely something new. Um, I'll soften the ground later this week and give you an idea of what it's going to be. But until then, thank you for listening.